When you look at trademarks from both legal and business point of view, a combination of legal and business perspective, trademarks can be classified into 5 types. And these trademarks are organized in the value of their strength from the legal and business perspective. The first type of trademark is what is referred to as a fanciful trademark. This is a trademark that doesn't exist earlier and you newly created it. If you're referring to a word, then you actually coined a new word in order to use as your trademark. And there is no meaning that is attributable to that word in the dictionary. For example, Kodak, it's a fanciful trademark. Then the next type of trademark is arbitrary trademark. The word exists in the dictionary, but the meaning of the word has nothing to do with the goods or services you are offering. For example, Apple for computers, Banana for intellectual property services. Right? They have no link with each other whatsoever. These are arbitrary trademarks. Now, fanciful and arbitrary trademarks get the strongest form of protection. Though you may be tempted to choose a trademark when you launch a product or a service which describes what you're doing, that doesn't get very strong form of protection under the law. Even from a business point of view, when a competitor copies that trademark, it's very difficult for you to stop that person from using it. Instead of calling our firm BananaIP, if we had called it intellectual property firm, I cannot stop another person from calling their firm also intellectual property firm. But if somebody uses the word banana for intellectual property services, I can stop them right now. So that's the strength that is attributable to fanciful and arbitrary trademarks. Now, the third type of trademarks are suggestive trademarks. These are trademarks that suggest what the products and services are with a little bit of imagination. If you imagine a little bit, then you'll understand what they're doing. For example, Infosys, information systems. Okay, they may be in a particular type of a business. So you can imagine and understand what business they are into, and the trademark suggests that through your imagination and understanding. That's a suggestive trademark. It's not as strong as fanciful and arbitrary trademarks, but it's also a good trademark. Then you have descriptive trademarks. You want to start a coffee shop and you call it coffee house. Like when Coffee Day started, they called it Cafe Coffee Day. At that point of time when they started, if I wanted to use Coffee Day or Cafe Coffee Day, they wouldn't have been able to stop me, because descriptive trademarks do not get any protection. Protection for descriptive trademarks comes from what is referred to as secondary meaning. Initially, those trademarks have no value whatsoever, but as you build consumer association and consumer recognition, consumers associate that particular trademark only with your business and no one else. Then you will get trademark protection. So it's like a hard work for a long period of time. So when Cafe Coffee Day started, we did not know if this was the only coffee day, this was the only coffee shop. But now, the moment you say Cafe Coffee Day, you always imagine something in your head. You imagine a store which has ABCD products, a cappuccino, a tropical iceberg, and so on and so forth, and which has a specific get-up and a trade dress. So now they have acquired secondary meaning. So now they'll have trademark protection. But initially they didn't. On the other hand, if they had chosen a fanciful or an arbitrary trademark, they would have gotten protection right from the beginning. Then the last type of trademarks are generic trademarks. These are trademarks that are once very popular, but because of too much of usage, they become generic and they become synonymous to products or services. For example, take a Xerox copy. Xerox was once a trademark, but now we are using it as a synonym to photocopy. Xerox, in fact, is trying very hard to get rid of that generic nature of their trademark. In fact, one of their ads used to say, you cannot Xerox a Xerox on a Xerox. You can photocopy a paper on a Xerox. In fact, Google was in the danger of becoming a generic trademark and losing trademark protection. That's why you see Google showing its word Google in different color schemes and trying to differentiate that to be a trademark that is associated with the company. Otherwise, it would have become a synonym for searching. There are many other words like Bisleri water, mineral water. Bisleri has sort of become generic. Band-Aid has become generic. Fridge was once a popular trademark. It has become generic. Like that, there are many trademarks which have become generic, and once it becomes generic, you cannot stop competitors from using it. So if you look at all these 5 types of trademarks, fanciful, arbitrary, suggestive, descriptive, and generic, you would want to choose fanciful and arbitrary trademarks. And you don't want your trademark to become so popular that consumers equate it to a product or a service.